Hello, and welcome to the Get Creative Podcast, the podcast for creatives by creatives. I'm Evan Schmidt, and my guest today is James Hawkins, a senior member of Pixel and Processor, a technology consulting firm based in my hometown, Roslyn, Washington. Let's get right to the talky stuff. All right, so James, what's the most important thing you've learned?
Well, there's a ton of really important things that I've learned over the years, but I really have to say it's kind of two things, but they fit together as one. It's perseverance and being authentic to yourself. Perseverance is pretty self-explanatory, obviously getting over the hard things, trying not to sweat them as much as some people do, but then staying authentic to yourself, that's the really difficult part, and kind of a philosophical question as well. But when I think of being authentic, there's times where you'll go day to day and you'll feel like you may not be doing something right, or you're just not confident in what you're working on at that time. And it's not something that you can just do overnight or even a year, or it's something that you work on your entire life. I imagine. I'm only 26, but up until this point it's been a constant battle trying to make sure I'm not deceiving myself, because that's really easy to do, whether it's losing your cell phone or your car keys in a day, or trying to convince yourself you're doing the right thing when you're really not. So yeah, you put those two things together and they really work in a synergistic way. Obviously, perseverance is, you're going to make mistakes, get over it, and always try to step back and ask yourself, is this the right thing to do? Don't sweat, a little bit of contemplation. Like that's one of my favorite things to do, is have some deep contemplation sessions just on my own. People give it a bad rap, try to say like, oh, you're overthinking things and all this kind of stuff. But in the end, I'm still moving forward, and that's all that matters. So, yeah.
Well, cool. So what are you working on right now, and where can people find you?
We used to do a lot of software, app development, website development. That seems to be a really popular place when you're speaking about digital businesses. It's something that you can pick up pretty quick, learn how to do, and then start making money on it pretty, relatively quick. So we've been doing software development, like I said, app development, the last 3.5 years. And we've learned a ton. I got to work with a bunch of really cool clients, really unique characters. But over that time, I noticed that, obviously everybody does things in a different way, but just their methods and their reasoning behind why they would want to develop this app, or, add this feature, or, what they want to put on their website, it just followed, in my mind, a really flawed model, which was just living up to the status quo of this millennial entrepreneur, really positive market. And, don't get me wrong, that's all great. I love that. But that it's really easy to deceive yourself in that environment, because I've done it myself. I probably spent 2 years of my life, trying to convince myself I was doing something that I may not have been doing. But aside from that, now we've taken all that information and experience, and we've transitioned into more of a consulting role now. We're working with a lot of digital security. We have our technology specialties, so integrating your how to properly use maybe some devices, tablets, with your computer network, all your hosting accounts if you're doing if you're working in digital, hosting, all that good stuff. And then we also do a lot of digital strategy and operations. So with that, you work with senior members, myself being one of those, and we really try to take you through a process of just getting down to making confident decisions and actions, because it's really easy to just go back and forth and toss an idea around in your head for a long time and then not end up making an action. Go back to what I said, contemplation is really nice, but there's a really fine line between procrastination and contemplation. So we got our technology division. That's our three practice areas are the technology, digital strategy and operations, and then the digital security / risk management. We're really looking to mold this up and coming market. These millennial digital entrepreneurs. We're trying to mold them for a future where we can be confident in our organization's ability to be robust and sustainable, and not having to worry every day if maybe some client data gets out or anything along those sorts, or making sure you're not marching headfirst into a collapsing market. You're not just wasting your time in general. That's something really easy to do with some of these smaller businesses. The digital security and the risk management, that really is more of a medium-sized business perspective, but yeah, I mean, it's moving into this consulting aspect of it has really opened up the aperture, if you will, the lens of our business and our opportunities moving forward. So I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, you can read more about it. I'm not too good at explaining everything. I like to trail off into stories and all that good stuff, but like I said, you can go to our website. You can see it all at pixelandprocessor.com. See what we specialize in, the work we've done, just a lot of that stuff. So,
well, cool. James Hawkins, thank you for your time today.
Thank you. It was good talking with you, Evan.
That's it for another episode of Get Creative. You can find more information about my guest in the show notes. Subscribe to this podcast on iTunes and Stitcher so that new episodes magically appear, and tell a friend about this show. For more information about me, just go to evanschmidt.com. Thank you for listening. Now go get creative.